welcome to another video where we'll be taking a look at an established character from a favourite toy or cartoon. Today I thought it would be interesting to see a crossover from Masters of the Universe and one of my own characters from Skylantern Dragons and the Monsters of Mundor. Today's theme is about Mattel's Spikor. Yes, this handsome looking guy right here. And my character, Iron May. Now, Spikor and Iron May, as you will no doubt see in a moment, have at least one thing in common. They are both incredibly spiky. Whereas Spikor is evil and a member of Skeletor's band, Iron May is a heroic character, a member of a small itinerary band of mages who helps our hero reach his objective in the story. I just thought it would be a cool idea to attempt this crossover and draw them both together in a confrontational scene of a sort. Spikor was introduced in the MOTU toy line by Mattel back in 1985. His action feature was quite clearly his spiky body, as well as a spring-loaded waist, which when swung round, released an extendable trident from his left arm. Spikor was released in the Filmation cartoon in a run of Season 2 episodes. He was often shown as a thug who wasn't that smart, but obviously Skeletor would keep him around for his unique abilities. Well, come on, what wicked overlord wouldn't want a henchman that your enemies couldn't touch?
The automatic pilot is taking us back to Skylantern.
What? Then take this.
I don't need a parachute.
That's what you think.
As you can see, not that smart. In the mini-comic that came with the action figure, Spikor was portrayed as more of Skeletor's personal blacksmith, hammering together all the magical weapons the Dark Lord would later use against Heman, such as the Terror Claws. In one of the classics bios, it was said Spikor was cursed to look the way he did when he stole some enchanted armour and then commenced to put said armour on himself, hence becoming the ugly, untouchable blue-skinned henchman of Skeletor. Iron May, likewise, was transformed from a simple soldier when she and her colonel were ordered by their greedy king to ransack the cursed beaches and grottos along the coast of Kurland. In my novel, Colonel Warclaw explains exactly what happened on that fateful day.
I've always been a soldier, though I haven't always looked like this. He gestured at his own face, knowing how unusual it looked. His skin was a deep blue with scales, and his eyes could actually extend outward on stalks, much like that of a shrimp or crustacean. He had plenty of armor covering both his shins and his torso, though most of this was part of what he called his exoskeleton. I was part of a platoon that was sent to the coast of Kurland. If you have ever been to the coast of Kurland, you would know that those golden beaches boast the greatest treasures known to man, as well as the most pernicious curses and traps ever devised by ancient man. Well, our king, a man known as Solomon, ordered 10 of us to fetch the riches of which had been spoken in legend. Truly, we were dubious about making such a perilous trek into such unknown territories, especially once we had heard the tales, the terrifying fictions based upon those coastlines. Sometimes even fictions have a flicker of truth to them. But the king's word was law, so we made the long trek. Once we arrived, we discovered the treasures of which had been burned in legend. We filled our sacks with gold and pearls, and as many trinkets as we could carry. Only 2 of us made it off that coast that day. The other 8 in our platoon were either buried or eaten, or were simply taken without any warning, never to be heard of from again. I and my second in command, Iron May, were the only 2 survivors, if that is what you can call us. The curse came upon us when we tried to steal the gems. I don't quite know what took place. It all happened so quickly. Iron May here was transformed into something completely otherworldly. Well, I became this thing you see today. May's flesh turned to metal. I watched in dismay as these spikes as hard as steel emerged from her arms and legs like daggers. We became these things for only a brief time, and then we returned to normal. We were afraid, though gathering from what we could read from the old cave scriptures, there was a penance. The scriptures were written in stone, most of which was difficult to read due to time and erosion. From what we could gather, the penance involved a transformation, a modification of both strength and physical appearance. We had become these things of great strength and power, though provisionally. The scriptures said that we had been ordained to guard the treasure for the rest of our natural lives, and that if we ever tried to leave that place, we would go back to looking like freaks of nature. May with her metal skin, and of course, me with my odd appearance. True, we could not stay for very long. Our situation, unfortunately, was forced upon us by our king. This time it was Solomon who came in person, and he was accompanied by his 7th Legion. He and his men had traveled the long distance to the coast to find out what had happened to us. He was angry and thought we had abandoned him, deciding after all to take his treasure for our own. Of course, we have been mutated to guard the treasure at all costs. The curse of the grotto forced us once again to become these aberrations. The curse gave us weapons and a prowess with hand-to-hand combat, as well as great magic abilities to repel our former king and his army. Being the total cowards that we were, we did not disagree with our new and terrifying mistress, this old curse that forced us to fight. We went out onto the beach and we slaughtered every last one of our former kinsmen. King Solomon obviously had no idea that it was us. Not that it mattered much, since it was Iron May here who sliced off his head. And I would do it again. She spoke honestly, and with much venom in her words.
Okay, right. Well, I hope you enjoyed viewing my artwork as well as listening to my commentary. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you all next Monday for more drawings and cool character bios. See you then. Bye.